And welcome back. So we did a video a few weeks ago about the world's first plastic canal boat. It has had thousands of views and quite rightly thrown up hundreds of questions. So we thought it'd be really good to revisit it and ask Sean from Formation Plastics the answers to basically the top 10 questions. So the first question is, how do you repair one of these boats if it gets damaged? And then before we dive into Sean's answer, we've actually got now some of the stuff that's used. Richard, do you want to hold up your one?
Well, that's the spine, isn't it? So this is the 40mm. I mean, look at it.
It's weighty, isn't it?
It is a chunky.
Yeah.
So that's 40mm. That's the spine, isn't it? He said. So that's going down your boat. I mean, this is, yeah. It's just like a solid block.
Very solid, yeah.
You've got the 20. That's the 20mm, isn't it? Which is the side. So that bit there is the side. Right. I think the base is 25, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can actually can't see it very well, but all this is weld material. It is incredible. So I've got another piece of this at work, and when you hold it this side, you can see where this piece touches this piece, and there's the gap, which would be the same with steel. I've put a chisel into that with a sledgehammer.
Really?
Yeah, because I had two of these. So I managed to get a chisel in there. Oh, it took a long time to try and make this wide enough to get a chisel in there to see if I could break these two pieces apart. No.
You couldn't?
No, but I was smacking the chisel with a sledgehammer. And yeah, it did nothing. It basically damaged my concrete floor.
So here's Sean's answer to that question.
How do you repair one of these boats if it's damaged? So our material is actually a thermoplastic. That means we can heat weld it back together using a hot air or extrusion welding gun. We don't use glue or rivets. We actually weld it using the same material the boat is made from. So the repair actually becomes part of the hull. It's very similar process to MIG welding. The only difference is with MIG welding you use a copper wire, where our wire is the same material. That's all. So it's exactly the same process.
So a big question, because Sean originally explained the boat, he liked to think of it as sat on the water rather than in the water, was are there going to be problems with like low bridges and tunnels? And this is what he said.
So that's a question we're getting quite a lot, obviously, and especially with the 57 foot that was made with the Vitas E-Pod. That draft was at 17 to 18 inch. Now, the one that we're doing now, a traditional propulsion system, we've calculated that the draft should be around the 20 to 21 inch draft. Don't get me wrong, I think a steel narrowboat is around about the 24 inch draft. I think I might be wrong, but this was like slightly higher in the water, but not too high, so it'll be fine that way.
So obviously another big one, and quite rightly, people asked how much does this cost in comparison to steel. Now obviously Sean is just making the shells, but his shells do actually include bow thruster, water tank, windows, what else was there?
Duck hatches.
Bow thruster?
You said that.
Did I say bow thruster?
But by the time all that's done and you're sending it away, you have no paintwork.
Oh, and battening out as well. It's already battened, isn't it?
Well, there isn't any battening because you can use the structure to batten too. So that saved you you're saving tons of labour.
Yeah, straight away.
Whereas a steel boat, you've got a lot of process to do before you get to even the delivery of it ready to fit out.
Yeah, so this is what Sean said.
So I'll talk about the one that we're building now. The 45 foot shell comes in around about 39k. So roughly in a steel boat, you can pick them up for about 29k, I think it is, roughly. What I have learned and what research has shown us is that when you buy a shell, you literally just get a shell. That's it. And there's a lot of add-ons to be made or to be on it. Whereas our shells, our add-ons are all included. What I mean by that is our water tank's included in it, the bow thrusters included in it, the windows, the duck hatches are all included in it, and also the batten out's all included as well. Because the way we've actually built our boats, the ribs actually act as batten out.
And this was another common one as well. So if a steel boat hits it, what will happen, like in a collision? Like somebody said, oh, it will sink like a stone. Well, actually, we've done lots of research because these boats aren't actually, the material isn't a new thing. It's been around for many, many years. We had a lot of comments from America because it's quite commonplace in America to use this material in boats. And a lot of the American channels have some crazy videos out there. If you literally type in testing an HDPE boat, they have dropped them from cranes, they've scraped them and barged them into walls.
Well, the best one was the man with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, yeah.
So he stood on the front of a plastic boat, and within 3 hits, the hammer had gone through, hadn't it?
Yeah.
And then the metal boat, and that massively dented.
Not plastic, fiberglass was the first
The
one.
fiberglass one, yeah. So straight through fiberglass, massive dents in the metal one, even to a point of where the frame had damaged. He then got them hitting his HDPE one, didn't he? And he didn't just hit that once. He got the whole team to keep hitting it until they couldn't pick the sledgehammer up and then pass it to the next person, and they were hitting it in the same place, weren't they?
They were, yeah.
And in the end, he brushed it off and said, "Well done, boys, you damaged the tape."
Yeah.
And that was it. It was mad.
So Sean confirmed this.
So the material is extremely impact resistant. It flexes instead of denting or cracking. It's been in impact testings that has been done in labs all over the world. It's been rated as no break, which means it can take a hit and bounce back. Now, I'm not saying it's indestructible. I don't want to say that at all because nothing is. But what it does mean is that if you do hit it with a steel boat, it will flex more, should we say. And the thickness of the material that we're using. So I know most steel boats, what is it, 10.64 I think mil thick. We're using for the spine 40 mil thick, and for the rest of the boat 20 mil thick, and the base plate's 25 mil. So it is quite thick as well with everything there.
So another one, and these are all really good questions and valid questions because they are things that you think about with boats, especially if you know boats, is do they need insulation and what about condensation? So Sean is going to use spray foam on his current build, but this is what he said about it.
You can still insulate them. It doesn't sweat like steel. In fact, the thermal conductivity of this material is actually 0.45. Steel's around 50. So it stays warmer in the winter or cool in the summer, and it's way less prone to condensation. So the insulation that we used on a 57 foot one that we was actually 100 mil thick kingspan insulation, and the one that we're doing now is actually going to be spray foamed. So you can choose whatever kind of insulation you want in it. There's not an issue.
And this one, it's funny, isn't it? Because when you see the plastic and you realise how heavy it is, but I think people are just thinking of, I don't know, like a piece of Tupperware, because they said, are they too light? How will they handle in the wind? Like we've already said, it's not a new concept. They've been built all over the world for many, many years. Not canal boats, but other forms of boat. Anyway, Sean addressed this one for us.
Are these boats too light and how do they handle in the wind? No, not at all. So again, I talk about our boats. Our 57 foot one, the Crick one, had a weight around about 13 tons exactly. Our 45 foot one that we're doing now, the weight we've calculated is around about the 11 to 13 ton once it's fully fitted. I think a steel boat it weighs around about 80 to 20 tons. So it's lighter, but it'll be fine in the wind and everything. And the reason for that, many people may realise, may not realise, but these boats have been made all over the world. And we've done them, we've researched all this as well. So I know the open seas, a lot of people say it's totally different to canals, and I totally appreciate that. I'm saying it for research, is that boats have been able to cope with the 40, 45 knot speed, 70 knots wind speed, and they've been fine. Again, I know it's different from crashing a contact sport, you would say, of the canals, but it can handle any wind and it can handle all that as well.
So one viewer asked, will it sink like a stone if damaged?
No, I may have said it before and I'll say it again. This material has a density of 0.96, meaning it floats naturally. It doesn't rust or take on water, even if punctured. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, by the way, and I want to say that clear, but it means that if something did happen, it's a lot lighter. I think it's actually lighter than water, so it'll be fine that way as well. It's like anything. I think it depends how bad the gouge is, how bad something happens. And I know there's a lot of things in the canals right now. I know obviously a lot of bigger boats, etc. But it's going to be fine. It will obviously be fine. I know we've done little tests of things being hot, and I know that doesn't really give you proper insulation. There is boats all over the world from this material done bigger tests, should we say, than ours. There is one company that actually took one of their workboats in back of a trailer and just took it right along the road, scraping it and showing everyone what happens. There is one company that's put it on top of a forklift and dropped it from height. Look, these are not the perfect tests, because as people say, you want real life tests, but it's to show it can take it. And obviously the manufacturers have got a lot of lab tests, a lot of research has been shown into this as well.
They actually float.
I wish we could test that. I'm going to put this in the sink.
Oh yeah. So we're going to do our very own scientific test as well as listen to Sean's answer. Go on then, Richard.
Oh, it floats.
It floats.
Not going to sink like a stone.
No.
To run off of it.
Look at the water running off of it as well.
That now is dry.
So that can show that things won't stick to it, I guess.
Hang on, let me get some.
Okay, so you've got a piece of tissue.
Got some tissue, because you know tissue will get wet straight away. I mean, look. It didn't run off as well, but look, there's a bit there. Dry. That's mad, isn't it? Mm. What? How? We need to coat our entire boat with this stuff.
Also, another question was, does the material degrade in UV light? And I think one of the major points was of people watching the video, it is a type of HDPE, but it is a marine grade HDPE, so there is a difference, and I think this is where a lot of people weren't quite so sure. So anyway, Sean explained that one to us.
No, absolutely not. We use Polystone G Marine-Tec, which is actually UV stabilised with carbon black. It won't fade, crack or go brittle in the sun. In fact, the brittle temperature on this material is actually minus 95. So in the working temperature, I think it's plus 100. So it can have years and years of full exposure in the sun, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, whatever. It'd be fine that way. It's built for harsh marine environments.
So another big one for the environment was, do they shed microplastics and VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds? And Sean answered that for us, and actually it's a very interesting sort of answer, because it's actually better than scratching your paint off of a canal boat.
Now, the biggest question we get, and this is one that I kind of like to address, is will it pollute the water with microplastics or VOCs? No. So this material is chemically inherent. It doesn't flake, rust or release FOCs. It's the same material used actually in drinking water pipes and fish tanks all over the world. So there's no paint flecks, no rust particles, and no annoyed runoff. So it's actually cleaner and safer for the canal. And as I said, we use post-consumer and post-industrial recycling on this.
So in the previous video, we showed the 2 boats that Sean has made so far. So one of them was their prototype Widebeam. They learnt a lot from that. That's pretty much just a shell, isn't it? A drivable shell, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the prototype. With anything you do a prototype. Then obviously there was the narrowboat that they took to Crick, and that is fully fitted, etc, etc. And on the Crick narrowboat, as Sean likes to call it, it had the electric propulsion system, E-pod, is it?
It's the E-pod system, yeah, which requires intakes.
Yeah. And a lot of people sort of looked at that and went, oh, that's going to sort of drag up stuff from the canals, etc. I mean, the thing is, your propeller can anyway, but he can actually build them with any propulsion system that you want, including your sort of traditional diesel engine.
Exactly the same as what you got.
Yeah, but he explained it.
What kind of propulsion we use? Anything that you like. What I mean by that is kind of a bit of a straight answer when I said that. But the VSC pod was obviously electric propulsion. We're doing a traditional propulsion system now. So literally whatever kind of propulsion you want, we can do it that way as well. Hopefully this has answered a lot of your questions. Look, there's going to be a lot more questions to come, and I totally appreciate that. There's a lot more that people want to see. And there's a lot more videos coming up as well. And what I would like to say is a thank you to everyone that's actually shown interest in this, and it's actually been behind it. And I totally get the questions that are getting asked. I understand it and I appreciate it because it's something new. But we have done our research. We've done the research over 3 years, 4 years. We're still doing research. We're still investigating things, doing lab testing, making sure that everything's right, going right back to our manufacturers. We've got the backing from Leicester, who we use our welding guns, Roslin, who we use our materials from. They're totally behind us. They do a lot of lab tests at their place as well. So we're making sure that what we're doing is right. So all these questions you've asked, I'll try and answer, and I'll answer as best I can. And if there's something that I've not answered correctly, I apologise. If it does help, one thing I did forget to say actually, this material is actually what the class is 1 million flexile cycles. So it can be bent back and forth 1 million times. And the strength, so the stretch mark, the KOV stretch, more than 6 times as the original length as well. So that should also help you as well.
And then the bonus one, which we've since asked him, so we haven't got him answering it, but we can answer it, is what about fire? Well, this plastic takes a lot for it to ignite, 350 degrees Celsius, which is over 660 something Fahrenheit.
Hot.
So very, very hot.
Yeah.
The good thing is as well, is even if it did ignite, it still hasn't got any of those volatile compounds to aid ignition or to seep into the water.
No.
So they were, I'm sure there's loads of other questions, others. But yeah. You know, a lot of it was sort of safety, propulsion, sunlight, heat, cold, etc. And they're, you know, obviously valid questions that when you've got a boat, you know, that are asked. He also gave us some other interesting facts about the material, such as it stretches like 6 times its own length without breaking, which is
I mean, stretch that.
There's no way you can stretch it.
That'd be a fact.
No. Anyway, Sean gives some extra interesting facts here.
So just some material facts about Polystone G Marine-Tec as well. The elongation on the break, the stretching capability. So typical elongation at break for this material is 500 to 600%, meaning it can stretch 5 to 6 times its original length before breaking. The flexibility is a major reason it absorbs impacts without cracking or denting. The flexure strength, the flexure modulus is 1000 to 1200 MPa. This gives it the material excellent stiffness under load without becoming brittle. And the density obviously is 0.96. So what that means basically is the 6 times strength makes it incredibly impact resistant, better than GRP, and more flexible than steel. Welded joints are just as strong because they're made with the same material, no filler metal or rust points. It won't crack, dent or degrade the hull material.
So we hope you enjoyed that. We felt it really important to sort of come back, not leave it too long, and answer those really important questions. There will be one of these boats at Crick coming up next year.
Yeah.
So that'll be,
to that.
yeah, really looking forward to seeing that one. And we are super excited to now be able to reveal that collaboration between Sean from Formation Plastics and our good friends at Bespoke Boat Company, who do amazing fit outs. This boat will soon be heading over to Bespoke for its fit out, ready for Crick 2026, and it will be for sale. Keep the questions coming. They're all really useful for Sean himself as well. I don't think there is a question that he hasn't considered, but you never know. And we will hopefully, fingers crossed, be doing updates and see how he gets on. So, like always, give us that cheeky little like, hit that subscribe button, it helps us to grow, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.